His Bat Dance went to #1 this week, and his album Batman has been at #1 for 4 weeks now. But as correspondent Dale Haramoto reports, there was more to the score of the movie than the songs on the charts. Danny Elfman, the lead singer of the group Oingo Boingo, is the musician who gave Batman its mood.
I had that simple ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, and all you had to hear is ba-ba-ba-bum-bum, and there he is, there's Batman. Hold on. This is just a copy of some of the music, some of the original music. And you can see I have my timing notes on the top. This is where Batman appears. There's a close-up. Here we have the bad guys. He shoots a thing out.
If the mood of the summer smash movie Batman truly is dark and brooding, a lot of the credit goes to composer Danny Elfman. As a matter of fact, Elfman has scored a number of films. He helped put the circus sound in Big Top Pee-wee and give a supernatural feel to Beetlejuice.
How important is the musical score to a film? There's some films where the music really has to carry the audience through the movie, has to tip them off as to what to feel, and gives an expression to the scenes.
Elfman, the film composer, is also Elfman, the performer. His band Oingo Boingo has been rocking audiences for the last 10 years.
I love doing rock and roll. And nobody believes me when I say my first priority is still Oingo Boingo, still the band. Yet, but I'm in the middle of a tour, I long for the simplicity of just writing pure music.
With 10 films under his belt and over 10 years with the band, Elfman is fortunate not to have to choose between films or live performance.
Well, no matter which one I'm doing, I'm really dying to do the other one again. That's why I really want to keep them both going, and I really do love them both.
In Hollywood, I'm Dale Haramoto, USA Today.
Elfman's Batman soundtrack was released today. It features the London Symphony Orchestra, and on the album cover, the bat plane over Gotham City.
In Batman, we wanted a single, very simple theme, unlike Beetlejuice or Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Midnight Run, which actually had several different themes which would run in different ways. In Batman, I wanted to approach it like an old-style film, almost like a 40s action movie would be. And I went for a single, very simple theme that I can play in a big way, in a small way, in a romantic way, or in a dark way. And so I just found that and played it for everybody, and they seemed to like it. And I just carried that throughout the movie. So it's your old-fashioned style, I think, of composition in that respect.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Promotion, Batman really turns out to be a very watchable picture, and a big part of what makes Batman's thin but moody comic strip storyline so watchable, I think, is the rich but unobtrusive musical score, which was not composed by Prince, as confusion has led many to think, but by another rock and roller named Danny Elfman of Oingo Boingo fame. Elfman created every note in the overall 75-minute Batman score by closing himself up for about 6 months in a little computerized studio tacked onto his Topanga Canyon hillside home, where he sat for hours on end making the picture work with the music.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Scoring Batman put Elfman under enormous pressure, since the score he had to write was the last element in a major movie that had been years in the making, a multi-million-dollar project that ended up depending on the grease pencil checks marked on a cardboard chart by Elfman, who still thanks his lucky stars that the main theme came to him early.
I mean, I'd written the real simple, very, very simple theme, and from there it was pushing it into all these different versions. That in a nice kind of romantic, dark, minor key, and then again we'd hear it later in a very up, major, march, with drums behind it. So I actually use about 5 different inversions of that melody, and then I have other melodies that it leads to, but it's all based around that very simple little melody.
There was, of course, a lot more to it than just that simple little melody. In fact, Elfman admits that he was emotionally consumed by Batman for the better part of a year. Yet the first music from Batman that actually reached the public was a song by Prince that isn't even in the movie. A confusion of terminology between the words soundtrack and score has left the impression with some that Prince scored Batman, even though his so-called soundtrack album is just a collection of songs about characters in Batman, and only snippets from 2 of the songs are actually in the picture. Does it not just frustrate you a little bit when people have, there are people walking around with the impression that Prince did the score to Batman?
Oh yeah, I know. That was aggravating before the movie came out, and it got aggravating, even though I knew he would get lots of publicity, and that's natural. He should. He's a big star, and to get involved in the film this way is very unusual. Usually, if they have a couple of songs in a film, they'll be different artists. So even just to have more than one song by the same artist, and a major artist, is very unusual. So it's inevitable, and especially with somebody like Prince, that would get lots of publicity, and I didn't care about that. Publicity, in that sense, I don't care one way or another, but when I want to get credit, yeah. Then when he started getting credit for my work, I said, whoa, wait a minute, that's one step too far.
And it's not like Batman is his first musical credit. As the co-founder of a rock band originally called the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo, and now one of the West Coast's hottest groups, Elfman has authored dozens of songs, including their all-time favorite, Dead Man's Party.
It's a dead man's party. Who could ask for more? Everybody's coming. Leave your body at the door.
And he can sing, too. Batman, by the way, isn't Elfman's first big movie credit either. He started 5 years ago, in fact, on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and since then he has scored 10 different movies, including things like Back to School, Scrooged, and Beetlejuice. Batman being his first action film, and the one to really make Danny Elfman famous, I think, as the composer of music for movies. He will be remembered.
Did he get this role because of what he did in Beetlejuice?
Sure, Tim Burton.
The other soundtrack was written by rock and roller turned composer Danny Elfman. Entertainment reporter Steve Kometko has more.
For more than 10 years, Danny Elfman was a struggling rock and roller fronting what has become a popular and successful band, Oingo Boingo. Now Elfman is becoming just as well known for his other day job, composing movie scores like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Elfman has also written the music that accompanied the goings-on in Beetlejuice, Scrooged, Midnight Run, and most recently...
What are you? I'm Batman.
15 years of hardship. 10 of those years I probably didn't even earn $2,000 a year. I mean, you know, we're talking like down on the bottom. And to get a lucky break on this side, maybe it helps equal out the big scale.
Many people mistakenly believe rock superstar Prince wrote the Batman score. True and false. Prince contributed some songs. Elfman wrote the remaining 75 minutes of music. Now, there are 2 soundtrack albums.
I think it would have been, personally, a little clearer if one album was called Songs, Batman Songs Soundtrack, Batman Score Soundtrack. And I think that's the reason why it's so confusing.
Elfman's life is booked for the next year, scoring 2 more movies while working on a new Oingo Boingo album. On the Music Beat, Steve Kometko, Channel 2 Action News.